It is now my pleasure to summarise some of the key takeaways from 50 years of energy cooperation between Tanzania and Norway. In the making of the report, we pored over archives and books and interviewed more than 50 people from Tanzania, Zanzibar and Norway. As part of the team working on the report, I met Tanzanian officials who had studied in Norway, some who even greeted me in Norwegian. I met business owners who had benefited from a combination of access to electricity and business training. And I met female engineers who had received support to become certified engineers. For example, we met Dorcas Mcheri, seen here at the Mbagala substation in Dar es Salaam, where she gets practical work experience with the Tanzania electric supply company, TANESCO. She told us, "My training with Engineers Registration Board has helped me to become a professional engineer with confidence in myself." To date, more than 700 female engineers have benefited from the Engineers Registration Board's programme, to which Norway has contributed. This 50 years of energy cooperation highlights the main achievements of the cooperation, but also attempts to capture anecdotes, institutional knowledge, and the spirit of the partnership between Tanzania, including Zanzibar, and Norway. The report aims to bring to life the need to invest long-term in hardware and software, in men and women, and build strong human relationships. As Dr. Kalamani, Minister of Energy in Tanzania, states in the report, together we have achieved substantial results in power generation, transmission, electrification of new areas, and competence building of individuals. Hydropower plants, transmission and distribution lines, and cross-boundary interconnectors, the hardware, generates power and transports it to where it is needed. Higher education and training, the software, ensures there are people to manage, develop and operate the sector, and consumers who know how to use the electricity to improve their well-being. Starting with power generation then, Tanzania increased its power production capacity by more than 10 times over the 50-year period of the report. In the early 1970s, Tanzania asked Norway to assist with hydrological mapping to identify its hydropower potential. This work laid the foundation for much of the support for hydropower development in the following years. Norway went on to support 3 hydropower plants with a total of 328 megawatts installed capacity. This makes up almost 60% of Tanzania's installed hydropower, or 23% of all power production in Tanzania in 2018. Infrastructure investments, the hardware, are obviously necessary to establish a power sector. But well-functioning operations and long-term development also requires software or human capital. More than 40 Tanzanian master students in hydropower have graduated from the Norwegian University of Science and Technology, some whom work in key positions in the Tanzania energy sector today. Another 100 Tanzanian students have studied renewable energy at the University of Dar es Salaam after a master's program was established there with Norwegian support. As with all energy development, it is not without challenges. Environmental and social impact assessments are crucial to identify and mitigate potentially harmful effects of energy projects. Norway financed studies that led to the discovery of the now famous Kihansi spray toad. On the verge of extinction, after its natural habitat was disturbed by construction, toad specimens bred in captivity were reintroduced and the ecosystem appears to be stabilizing. It is a valuable reminder about the importance of balancing the human need for power generation to sustain modern lives and jobs, and taking care to protect biodiversity and the environment for generations to come. Once infrastructure is in place, maintenance and upgrades are key. Although new power generation is needed, there is no better power than the power saved. Tanzania and Norway have also worked together on rehabilitating and upgrading the big 5 hydropower plants. This work was estimated to save up to $20 million annually and included on-the-job training of key personnel in all areas of operation and maintenance. Access to electricity enables improved public services, including healthcare, education, as well as the ability to charge mobile phones and gain access to the internet, which we have come to expect and rely on in a modern world. Tanzania has taken on the challenge to provide energy to its citizens. Support to the Rural Energy Agency, or REA, is currently the largest program between Tanzania and Norway. In 2007, when REA was established, only 2% of the population had access to electricity. Less than 10 years later, REA reports the number was close to 50%. To date, Norway's support has targeted connection of 120 villages along the 400 kV transmission line commissioned in 2017, from Iringa via Dodoma and Singida to Shinyanga. Implemented in several phases, the densification program connects villages and households within a radius of about 1.2 kilometers to existing medium voltage lines. At the end of the first round, about 143,000 people were connected. Support to cross-boundary energy cooperation has also become important. Cross-boundary interconnectors can help promote regional integration, efficiency, and flexibility. Norway contributed to developing extensive feasibility studies for interconnectors to neighboring countries Kenya and Zambia, enabling the construction of high-voltage transmission lines. This makes Tanzania one of the links between the Eastern and Southern African power pools. In the mid-1980s, Norwegian energy support was extended to include Zanzibar, where Norway contributed towards 232 villages gaining access to electricity. Pemba Island in Zanzibar, however, was struggling with unstable power from old and worn-out diesel generators. Investigations were initiated looking at the feasibility of subsea cable from Tanga, mainland Tanzania. In 2010, the Pemba cable was officially inaugurated, supplying electricity to more than 400,000 inhabitants of Pemba. Co-financed by Zanzibar, Tanzania, and Norway, the cable is more than 70 kilometers long and was laid as deep as 850 meters under sea level. An assessment found that it had a positive impact on power supply stability, health and school service provisions, private sector development, as well as on the political climate. Access to electricity can also enable entrepreneurship and create jobs. Through another Norwegian-supported program, more than 1,000 business owners and 350 entrepreneurs received training. Access to electricity, coupled with business training, was crucial for the success of these businesses, who reported an increase in profits of around 135% in 1 year. This positive impact was very clear when we spoke to people in the villages who had participated in the program. Hamza Zubair Mkudulu, a butcher in Bagamoyo village, told us that he had learnt to keep business records that gave him a clearer idea of his profits and also how to improve them, and that his mentor had helped him improve customer service. At the time we spoke, Hamza was saving up to invest in a larger freezer and an electric carving knife to be more efficient. He now also takes orders by phone, and customers can pay him using their mobiles. Similarly, when the inhabitants of Pemba Island in Zanzibar heard about the upcoming Pemba cable plans, an entrepreneur took initiative to start a soap factory with a local investor group, a factory that still exports soap today. Equal opportunities for men and women is an important aspect of development support. When surveyors were employed for distribution line planning under the Zanzibar electrification program, women were also encouraged to apply. After an initial course to identify suitable surveyors, all female participants were selected based on merit and final exam results. To quote engineer Wanja Kamis Hemed, who started out as a surveyor in the Norwegian-funded programme in 1991, the project educated staff about technical issues. Trainers were brought from outside to Zanzibar, and this capacity building has proven very valuable to Seko and Zanzibar. Engineer Hemed went on to attribute the number of high female recruits to Norway's support. The partnership between Tanzania and Norway is characterized by mutual respect and a recognition of the need for long-term investment in hardware and software, in men and women. In Tanzania, it's been about power production, transporting that power to where it is needed, whether it's for industry, hospitals, schools, or small business owners. It's been about the human capital necessary to develop and manage the system. And it's been about business owners improving their livelihoods by using access to electricity more productively. Standing here in front of you all, presenting some of the stories from Tanzania is humbling. 50 years of hard work and many lives touched. We at NORAD are proud of this report, and we would like to express our gratitude to all those who have contributed. Thank you.